Hello everyone, it's Magic here, and today I'm gonna give you a behind the scenes from a shoot using brand new Sony a7CR. I'm gonna put my commentary on top of it, so you're gonna see the behind the scenes, you're gonna see what I see on the screen, and you're gonna hear me telling you why I decided a certain spot and a certain pose, and then I'm gonna edit each photo with you so you can see the final result. For editing, I'm gonna use the Luminar Neo, which is a sponsor of this video. Let's go. So the first photo I decided to shoot like with the view in the background, right? So the Manhattan is in the background. I have like half backlit image. I decided to frame it vertically, and the framing here was actually the biggest decision because I didn't want the horizon to cut the head of Suzanne. I wanted horizon to be either above the head or way below the head. So, framing it either from up or from down. I do think that in this particular case, like this framing works better. So that's why I decided to use this image. And when editing in Luminar Neo, the first thing that I always do, like whatever I'm editing with, is the develop panel. So like Luminar has the develop panel for raw files. So you can actually use like all the stuff that you need, you want, like curves, exposure. It has like pretty cool smart contrast, which I really like. So in this image, I just bumped up slightly the exposure. I play with the curves a bit to just get rid of that black point and a white point. I wanted the faded look here, and this was my basic state for editing this image. And now let me show you some of my favorite tools in Luminar Neo that can enhance your image. So first one being the face and skin retouch, something that I think is just missing from Lightroom so bad. So here, just look at the difference when I just use the skin slider to 100%. Like the goal with this image for me, like all of these images from this shoot, is to get like this slightly more dreamy look. So like having the skin as smooth as possible would work for me. Another tool being a super contrast. So the way that here you can change the contrast in a certain parts of the frame. Here I just wanted to add some contrast in the sky because I feel like the sky here just needs to pop a bit more. So I just increased the highlights contrast, so in every bright part of the frame. Next, I went to the relight panel. So check this out. Luminar Neo has built-in tool to brighten or darken foreground and a background just like with a slider. How cool is that? So I went with the brightness near just to increase slightly the light on the subject, and then I lowered brightness far in order to get the background slightly darker. In order to get the image even more dreamy, I used the glow slider with the type of glow soft focus, which is the default, which I really enjoy. I set the amount for 20, and then I added film grain on top of that because I do think that both of them just really work well together. For like the final touches, I added a slight of a vignette just to give a more vintage look to the image, and then I added a light leak, kind of this scratched image look to it. I lowered the opacity to soften the look, and then the cool part about this, and actually pretty much every effect in Luminar Neo, is that you can mask out anything that you don't want to be, like affected with the effect. So here I just brushed out my main subject so there's no scratches on her. And here, once again, before and after, so you can see how well we improved the image. Oh, how about we try to use this now? So we have the bridge in the background, we have this trees like side lit, so maybe even here. Let's try this. So I'm gonna have you like sitting here. Yep. Oh, we cannot see the bridge if she's sitting here. That's fine. We can see the little cranes here. Or let me look for the, oh, it's perfect. So I'm gonna do like slightly from a lower perspective, maybe horizontal. This is good. Can you now lean down on like your legs? Yep. And to me. From the higher up. This is nice. You can see the bridge. You can see. Oh. This is perfect. Yep, and this is the image that I decided to edit. So I started with the same thing as before, develop panel. So I played with the contrast, exposure, highlights, and the curves. And what I wanted to do with the curves is lower the white point like more towards the gray, because like the part of the face was like really blown up, and this way I evened the light on her face. Look at this, like it's way more even after just lowering the white point. Next, I wanted to use the glow, but this time even more substantial, so I went for like 50 amount. As you can see, it brightened the image, so I needed to go back to my develop and just lowered the exposure. Next, I went for skin retouch, which works really well with that glow. I also used the relight panel just to lower the brightness of the background, and then I use film grain once again because I do feel that combination of glow, skin retouch and film grain is just like a perfect mix for this dreamy look. And if you want to try Luminar Neo yourself with features like sky replacement or the new extension of panorama stitching, make sure to check out the link in the description or scan QR code for a special offer for my audience. So I would really like to shoot this direction but through the trees. Or maybe we can try it here. So it could be standing just right here and I'm gonna go there. How about you facing the water and just turning back to me? Okay? Okay. Let's see if this works. Yeah, this is nice, you see? Okay. So first of all, I actually wanted to note that you can see the person recognition here, right? So this is something new that A7C version 1 didn't have. So like the body recognition is this kind of new rectangle box that we knew from A7R5. But like with this image, I struggled with two things. One being like multiple people just going in the background. It was just nightmare to shoot. Second was the composition. As you can see, I was trying to get like the horizon, so that the line behind the water above the head, but I was also getting a fence and all these people in the frame. So I decided to go lower and shoot slightly up, and this way I first of all removed the fence, second of all I removed a lot of people from this image. And I feel like just simple changes like that, reframing your image, going from like the lower perspective or from higher perspective, like changes the image drastically. So I always encourage people to just try different perspectives. To edit this image, I actually decided to use a preset. So Luminar Neo has built a bunch of presets. You can also purchase more, and I use one from Filmatic Collections called Quirky Mode that I feel like this is exactly what I did to previous images. It gives like this slightly faded look, adds some contrast and a film grain, so all of that stuff. And the cool part about presets here that you can actually go to the edit panel, and then within the edit panel there's another edit panel on top right that you can see every enhancement that has been done to this image. So one of them has been like the body enhancement, which just like slimmers the body. I don't think I want that, so I can just simply remove it without, you know, changing anything else to the image. To finalize the look, I added a light leak, but I did lower the opacity to like a very low level, so it just works with the greenery in front of the image, and I think it just adds a little bit of the color to that green. Okay, for the final photo, I knew exactly what I wanted. So in the Domino Park, there's this amazing steam bridge that just puts like a lot of steam in the air. And like the cloud was covering the sun at the moment, but I knew the sun is going down. So at some point I knew we're gonna have a just like a little bit of a sunset moment before the sun hides behind the building. So I was hoping to get a steam and a sun at the same time for the last final image. So I was just like literally crossing fingers and waiting. So when the sun started shining, so it like came from behind the cloud, we were waiting for the steam, because like it just goes randomly every couple minutes. So I was like just literally waiting, being like, come on steam, we need you steam. So here you can see how well A7CR is actually focusing on the eye, even in the backlit situation like this, and in a silhouette situation like this, it just perfectly, you know, like follows the eye. Okay, the steam is coming. This is our moment. There's just so many people here, of course. Yes! This is epic. Yes, exactly that. This was the epic moment. This is exactly what I envisioned. So the steam and a sun in the background. I was slightly struggling, as you can see, with a 1/4000 of a second shutter speed limit, so I needed to increase my f-stop. I increased it to f2.2, but also like I feel it just worked better for this image. I asked my wife to actually rotate to a different direction because I feel it just worked better for the image happened. I actually was trying to frame it the way so the sun is directly, like kind of slightly peeking from behind her head, so I will get this kind of light going via the steam in front of us. Like, this is just like purely magical moment, and I'm just so happy with the result. And the image is so good, like straight out of camera, that the editing was very minimal. I added the same quirky mode preset at a level of 60 for consistency. I played just like slightly with the develop panel. I removed the body enhancement, and then I just straightened the image with the crop tool a little bit, and that was it. Look, before and after. I think this is a masterpiece. So as you can see, we just did that one sequence of having a steam and a light, and now it's completely gone. So it was our only chance, and I think we freaking killed it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the photos. You can check them out on my blog post. Make sure to check out my full review on A7C2 and A7CR. It's already on my channel, and I see you guys soon in the next video. Bye bye.